What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kyle Pancis. If it's your first time tuning in, please be sure to smash that subscribe button. If not, thanks for your continued support. Today I am at it with my Saabs, both Saab 9.5 and a Saab 9.3. This video is very common and it will pertain to all of you watching this car that have a Saab, so be sure to stay tuned and listen up because we're going to do some engine bay tidying up, and let me explain what I'm talking about. All of these exposed wires right here that have the stock OEM plastic shields, we're going to be replacing all of that today on both Saabs, since both Saabs have a melted, degraded away cover on all of those wires. And of course, you know, these Saab engines get really hot, and obviously if we're keeping these things alive and well and saving them and keeping them just as good as this 200,000 mile Saab and almost 180 on that, we got to protect all the electronics. So let's hop into this. So before we hop into this video, be sure to check out the previous video on the 9.5. We went ahead and executed a polish and a ceramic coating, and here it is the next day after sitting inside the garage overnight. You can just see how shiny it is. It is looking really good, and I'm pretty impressed because this is a $700 Mate Go paint job and it came out pretty fantastic. So let's show you guys the 9.3 here. Same scenario on the 9.3, all of these exposed wires, rotting plastic. So let's go ahead and let me show you what I got here. So it is called protective wire wrap, and I just bought two because it says 10 feet, and you just never know how much feet you really need when you're guesstimating in your head. So I bought two of these, so let's see how much I use. But this is a 3/8 of an inch by 10 feet plastic wrap for rewrapping all of these exposed wires. So I'm going to link all of this down in the description, so if you guys want to go ahead and execute this for your car, this is probably pertaining to all cars, not just Saabs, but in this particular case we're working on it with Saabs because that's what we got. So this is in decent shape here. Obviously it's brand new, but over time these things rot out, so it's kind of interesting. It opens up here in the center, which allows you to rewrap the wire, and then we'll go ahead and take care of the rest with zip ties and all the rest. Alright, so since we drove the 9.3 here today, this engine's nice and cold. We haven't driven the car yet, so I'm going to start on this car just simply unclipping all of these plastic zip ties here, holding this in place. Loosen up the wire harness. Let's see, this goes all the way back to here. So I'm probably just going to eliminate half of this and then splice it in instead of, since this is all good. Maybe what I'll do is just cut here and reroute a new one like that. No reason to fix what's not broken, right? So if everything from here back is fine, I'm just gonna leave it. Careful cutting so you don't ruin the existing wires. It's crazy how these things just kind of crimple and age, literally just deteriorate and fall apart. Right, so our new one is, it's interesting, I remembered when I was going in there to buy this, just kind of eyeballing, and it looks like I was kind of correct with my assumption on the size. So 3/8 is what the stock OEM is. So I'm just going to kind of measure this out and cut it here. Just like that. It's got a nice layered up here and should be good. Sweet. We'll put a zip tie around it here, here, and here. and it's nice and solid. This kind of goes right over that properly. It's a pretty easy way to tidy up the engine bay with all these exposed wires. Alright guys, so here it is, just the little things in life here to tidy up this wire. I'll probably put one more zip tie here if I want to, just to secure it over this harness here. But the last thing I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to put some heat shrink back around this right here. Maybe actually heat shrink, yeah, probably heat shrink, just like the rest of the wire is, just to protect this exposed wire. At least till a certain point. So let's get that on there, and then this should be pretty set up. This car is actually in decent shape under here, and it's interesting because this is the one with 200,000 miles on it, whereas if I go to my Saab over here, this harness here is a little bit more rotten than the one on the other one was, and this kind of has the same scenario with this, but not as bad. So very interesting to see the differences. But overall, this wire here sits pretty close to the turbo, which gets really hot, so obviously doing this is not a bad deal. All right, that should do it for this engine bay here. This is nice and tidied up, so close it up now, and we'll just hop on over to the 9.3 here and do the same thing. 9.3 looks like we need a new gasket for the valve cover here. It's starting to leak down on the side here, so just an early sign of that. Not the worst yet in the world, but getting there. Actually I take it back, there's oil dripping right down there pretty badly as well, so maybe it's time to order that. Not a bad idea. I always get the complaint, it smells like oil. Well, there's your reason. That's it right there. Alright guys, so for this car we ended up using all brand new plastic wrap here. So if you guys are doing this for your Saab, you definitely only need one thing of this 10-foot, because obviously here we still have like 6 feet left, and that's for 2 cars. But here it is on the Saab 9.3 here. Much better, makes everything look clean again. I'm going to be ordering this week, actually right now, I'm going to order a new banjo bolt here with 2 washers, because clearly we're getting some blow by on that with some oil. That's been going on for some time, but now that I need to actually order a new valve cover gasket, I might as well just knock it all out at the same time. But you guys can see all the fresh oil just kind of dripping down right there, and that's hitting the exhaust manifold. So obviously as the car is warm and everything like that, you can smell it burning. And of course we've been getting some complaints from the wifey that it stinks, and that is the reason right there. It's the only thing I can think of. So we're gonna go ahead, I'll order that now, but for this video purpose we are complete with the engine bay here. This thing looks much better now that it has that on both of these. So just a little tip for your Saab, and obviously for protecting the wires. And that should be it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this quick upload. Please like, share, subscribe, and if you guys have any questions, just drop a comment below, or reach out to me at Pancis on Instagram, and I will see you guys next video. Thanks for watching.